Okay. Now let's put our hands together. Okay. Namo. Repeat. Namo. Tassa. Bhagavato. Arahato. Samma. Sambuddhassa. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dhammaya. Namo Sanghaya. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Phana Tipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samma Diyami Adinna Dana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samma Diyami Kame Sumi Jajara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samma Diyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samma Diyami Sura Meraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samma Diyami. I undertake. Repeat. I undertake the training to refrain from taking life, from killing any sentient beings. I undertake the training to refrain from taking what is not given, what is not freely given to me. I undertake the training to refrain from sexual misconduct. I undertake to refrain from harsh speech, idle speech, harmful speech. I undertake the training to refrain from using intoxicants. I pay my respect and homage to the Blessed One,
to the Blessed One,
the Worthy One,
the Worthy One,
the Fully Enlightened
the fully enlightened
Buddha,
Buddha,
the one
the one
and only
and only
historical
historical
Gautama
Gautama
Buddha.
Buddha.
I go to the Buddha
I go to the Buddha
for refuge.
for refuge.
I go to the Dhamma
I go to the Dhamma
for refuge.
for refuge.
I go to the Sangha
I go to the Sangha
for refuge.
for refuge.
For the second time,
For the second time,
for the third time,
for the third time.
I go to the Triple Gem
I go to the Triple Gem
for refuge.
for refuge.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu.
Okay, you can open your eyes. Whew. Okay, hello to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And we're in a very small room. This is called Taking Shelter because there is a Category 2 tropical storm. Oh, tropical storm. That may transform into a hurricane. I don't know what's going on. I was just out of the hospital. 12 hours, 6 hours ago. I don't even know what time. I don't even know what planet I'm on. So, had to conduct this ordination because Travis to my right is now auxiliary venerable, and to my left is novice venerable Joselito, aka Joshua. I was had chief complaints of tightness in the chest area, exhaustion, confusion. Just woke up dazed. And at 36, 37, the threat of a heart attack is possible. So I decided to go to St. Anthony's Hospital to get a workup. That means lab work, IV, and just let them run all the tests because we have an incoming tropical hurricane, so it's the fastest way to get results. However, the chief complaints were quite real. This was in the works of the ordination since I was in Arizona, and today we found the time, barely enough time for it. The live video got stopped after we roped up novice Josh because the sun was dropping, and I observed the precepts tightly and judiciously in not being out and about when it's dark. So here we are in this little tiny room. There literally no other area to set up the camera. This room is just designed that way. What this means is that doing what needs to be done. I hope that even though I was dealing with my medical episodes, it sets the stage for other monks down the road not to be lazy, doing what needs to be done, study what needs to be studied, and practice what needs to be practiced. Earlier we recited the 3 refuge, the homage to the Buddha, the refuge, and the precepts. So Buddhism is threefold training. The first one is morality, which is the precepts. People don't know how to meditate, find it difficult meditating because they don't keep the precept of not killing, not stealing, refrain from sexual misconduct, refrain from harsh speech, hatred speech, refrain from intoxicating substance. These things get in the way of your spiritual growth and development. Just look at it, examine it closely. Examine it very closely. When you talk to Karen, Tom, Dick, and Harry out in society, you notice that somebody's involved with some type of drama that constitutes the violation of the precepts, breaking the precepts unnecessarily, being extra. Why would you want to be extra? Why do you not want to protect and to ensure your own peace? So that's the first fold training, is keeping the precept. Then it leads to meditation, which is mindfulness of the breath. You guys ready behind me? Back straight, shoulders relaxed. Closing your eyes. Take your first 3 deep breaths. On your last breath, you are at peace. Your mind is calm and still. Now focus your attention on the rising of the abdomen. Notice it rising, inflating like a balloon. Now notice it deflating. Notice the effort we put in, putting air in our tummy. And what a relief when it is deflated. And my two venerables in the back, place both of your hands on your tummy. Feel the rising and falling of the abdomen. Feel the inflation and deflation of the abdomen. Take 3 more deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, relax your concentration, arise from your concentration. So that we have the threefold training, Sila, and then it leads to Bhavana, which is meditation, and this is the start of your meditation instructions, which is mindfulness of the breath, also known as Anapanasati. Sati means to be mindful, Anapana, the breath. If you do that, it will lead to wisdom. Threefold training, Sila, Bhavana, and Panya. Cultivation of the heart leads to wisdom. Wisdom to see the 3 marks of existence. Wisdom to see 3 things in life, with anyone, any place, and anything, which is all things are subject to impermanent, all things are subject to change, and rarely are they under your control. Repeat after me. All things are impermanent.
All things are impermanent.
All things conditioned
All things conditioned
are subject to impermanence.
are subject to impermanence.
All things are subject to change,
All things are subject to change,
subject to unsatisfactoriness,
subject to unsatisfactoriness,
subject to stress,
subject to stress,
subject to discontentment,
subject to discontentment,
subject to unhappiness,
subject to unhappiness,
subject to fluctuation,
subject to fluctuation,
subject to change.
subject to change.
Rarely
Rarely
are certain people,
are certain people,
places,
places,
and things
and things
under
under
my control.
my control.
Travis, do you have control over your body?
Like I can control my body and moving it.
When it gets sick, can you will it not to get sick?
No.
Josh, can you will yourself not to get sick when your body is sick?
No.
So how is it your body? You see the logic? Anything that is ours, then technically you have control over it, right? But how come you don't have control over them when they get sick, right? You see, the evidence lies right here with mind and body. So therefore, those are what we call the 3 marks of existence. You all remember that? Yes? Say yes?
Yes.
So meditation and on this path, you both will need to pay attention. In regards to Josh, he's learning how to drive, so he's learning about traffic law and being mindful and predicting behavior. watching out for fools, all sorts of science. For Travis, you've already so slow and meticulous. Hopefully, you're not reckless, too fast in doing things, methodical, paying close attention to small details, as you are the engineering student. What we're doing here is called engineering of the mind, inner engineering, as Sadhguru calls it, inner engineering. Fixing our brain, fixing our mind, fixing what's the voices in our head, fixing the anxiety, fixing the depression, fixing the intrusive thoughts, becoming warriors of the mind, winning the battle within ourselves. The Buddha says you can win 1,000 battles 1,000 times, but the noblest victor of all is one who wins the battle within himself. Know thyself. So these are some of the basic instructions, and more instruction as we come along. And members of the public who are watching can expect to see both venerables here read from the Dhammapada, read out of the text. As they are reading, they're reflecting, they're thinking about what is it that the Buddha is trying to tell us. Who was the Buddha? So today marks a very jubilant day for both individuals who are ordained. Number one, auxiliary venerable on my right, wearing white robes, the ability to keep one's hair. Auxiliary means as needed. When one of us is out sick, attending to pastoral care, then auxiliary venerables can jump in and do what needs to be done under the guidance and instruction of novice monks or monks, fully ordained monks. And novice monks are also instructed to diligently practice, diligently study, to always be heedful so that they can progress. These two individuals will be inspiring thousands and millions of their generation, their cohorts. Just so an example, a living example, that they got up, got out of bed, went to school, went to work, came home, studied, reflected, meditated, and not to be the opposite of being lazy, torpor, sloth, angry, depressed, anxious, locking themselves in the room, playing games all day, sleeping too much, back talking, not doing what needs to be done in order to grow, not doing what needs to be done in order to enter into the world of growing up as an adult, also known as adulting. Hopefully that these two individuals, and hopefully Travis through time, will also ordain and lower his hair in order to combat wrong view. People behave the way that they do because they have wrong view. And right view is through the informed lens of the Noble Truth, the Four Noble Truth, of which, to summarize it in such a fun way and easy to remember, number one, repeat after me, number one, life sucks.
Life sucks.
Number two, life sucks because you want stuff.
Life sucks because you want stuff.
Number three,
Number three,
if you don't want life to suck,
if you don't want life to suck,
stop wanting stuff.
stop wanting stuff.
Number four,
Number four,
the path to liberation,
The
path to liberation,
inner peace,
inner peace,
freedom,
freedom,
liberation
liberation
is by following
is by following
the Noble Eightfold Path.
the Noble Eightfold Path.
Mm. So it is getting late and we're going to rest and embrace this tropical storm. It's wonderful that I come back and, the tropical storm just decided to say hello and welcoming all of us here in Florida. Hopefully you all got a kick out of the ordination, or at least partial of it, recorded live earlier. And here we are trying to do the best that we can where we're at, with the time that we have, with the resources that is available to us, and the people that is at hand. I realize that when I'm in my old age and I'm about to die and rolling around in my wheelchair, that I'm surrounded with my saints. Those who ordain are saints by virtue of renunciation under my school. How beautiful to see young people studying and practicing curiosity into Buddhism, and setting the stage and standard for humanity proceeding on forward with the constant existing threat of AI, constant existing threat of social media, the entertainment industry, pulling them different directions, away from their family, away from God, away from Buddhism, away from doing what needs to be done, away from ethics, away from morality. I realized in my old age, being surrounded by saints who have been practicing, who came back, who came in and out, hopefully not too long, not too often, but keeping close to the precepts, keeping the precepts at heart, keeping the threefold training will serve them well from now, tomorrow, and forever. From now, tomorrow, with the emerging generations there is to come, giving people hope that there is to come, giving people hope that Chief can in fact be realized, that you can realize what the Buddha had been talking about all along. So I'd like to conclude my talk. It's getting a little late. More to come as we progress in the next couple of days. Plenty of pictures to follow. More pictures we have to take and make up for today's 6 o'clock, where the 7:30 actually, where the sun is dropping so fast. The sun is dropping, but the temperature is not dropping here in Florida. I'd also like to thank my cousin Andy in having me in his class talking about climate change. Thank you to my cousin who, we talk about once every other year because we're so busy, but offering insight and wisdom into the current affairs within our families, the blueprint of our family, and proceeding on forward, as both of us are only sons in our family, and bonding together, sticking together, and coming up with intelligent ways to live and age gracefully together as cousins. How awesome it is to witness my cousin teach, and I'll be publishing some of the things that he's been teaching. To see him in action is beautiful, as I slowly crawl back into the academic world for my master's degree next year. Embracing on challenges and things to look forward to in clinical psychology, in social work. So it's a beautiful thing. And thank you all for joining, and thank you for walking this path with us. May you all be well, be happy, be free, and always be healthy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, this person right here. Oh. This I need to. How do you? Okay, here we go. How do you finish?